Hello, my friends, and let's start this day with explosions on Russian territory. Russian media report a drone attack on the Novatek plant in the Leningrad region last night. The Novatek plant in Ust-Luga processes stable gas condensate, with the final products being oil, kerosene, diesel fraction, and fuel oil. The plant is located in the coastal zone next to a specialized terminal where products and gas condensate itself are loaded onto ships and sent for export. Now, let's move on to the front overview, and let's start with the Kherson direction. If the support for Ukraine continues, and we certainly hope for the best, then the Ukrainian Armed Forces in this direction can achieve significant success. As of today, the occupiers continue their attempts to eliminate the foothold on the left bank. Offensive actions are reported in the area of the village of Krynky. However, they are not achieving success. The front line remains unchanged. Shelling is also ongoing across the entire right bank, and the occupiers report.
Everything is the same. Our troops stormed the village of Krokhmalne with the forces of groups from the 328th Airborne Assault Regiment and the 26th Motorized Rifle Regiment. So far, to no avail. Probably, they are the only ones who are trusted to go to assaults by the commander of the Civil War, Dnipro, General Teplinsky, or maybe vice versa. He just does not feel sorry for them. But it's not all bad. Today our attack aircraft are finally actively supported by artillery, mortars and drones. But aviation is still afraid to fly and launch FABs from UMPK.
As evident, success is on the side of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, so we are waiting to see how events will unfold. In the Zaporizhzhia direction, the occupiers continue their attacks in the area of Verbove. But besides incurring new losses, they achieve nothing. The front line remains unchanged and shelling persists. The Ukrainian Armed Forces stand firm in defense. In the Vuhledar direction, the number of shelling has slightly increased, but there are no significant changes. No new offensive actions are being conducted, and the front line remains unchanged. In the Avdiivka direction, the intensity of attacks has decreased by almost half. If there were 30 attacks per day before, today the occupiers conducted 17 attacks. Storms in the area of the coke and chemical plant continue, but they are not achieving any success, and the front line remains unchanged. Reports of Russian advances in the industrial zone are not confirmed, but it's mentioned that where unofficial sources report Russian advances, there are ongoing battles. The occupiers seem to be breaking through to the outskirts, but they are unable to consolidate their positions. The battles are taking place 500 meters from the front line. An interesting situation is developing on the southern flank. The General Staff reported battles in the area of Bohdanivka, suggesting that the Ukrainian Armed Forces might be attempting a counterattack. Battles are also reported in the southern area. However, near the village of Tonenke, the occupiers didn't achieve any success yesterday, and the front line remains unchanged. In the areas of Pervomaiske and Nevelske, battles continue, but the front line is also unchanged. In the Marinka area, the occupiers persist in storming the positions of the Ukrainian Armed Forces towards Vuhledar and conducting shelling. However, our units are not retreating, and the battles continue. Storms of Ukrainian positions in Stelmakhivka also continue, but the Ukrainian Armed Forces repelled all attacks. The occupiers failed to consolidate themselves in the eastern part of the village, and today they are advancing from the north. In the Bakhmut direction, battles have resumed in Bohdanivka area. After a brief lull, the occupiers are storming with multiple groups and shelling the village. To the south, in the areas of Klishivka and Avdiivka, the battles continue. However, the occupiers are changing the direction of their attacks again, hoping to make progress. Yet, the Ukrainian forces successfully hold their defense, repelling 8 attacks within a day, and the front line remains unchanged. In the Siversk direction, the occupiers continue to storm Bilohorivka and intensively attacks in the forest towards Vrogorivka. There have been no successes within a day, and the front line remains unchanged, but the situation remains complex. 7 attacks were conducted in this area within a day. In the Krokhmalne area, the occupiers continue to advance towards the villages of Terny and Yampolivka. 6 attacks were conducted within a day, all unsuccessful. The Ukrainian Armed Forces repelled all attacks, and the front line remains unchanged. The Russians plan to advance at least 3 kilometers towards the river to press our fighters against the water barrier, but they are unable to achieve even this. In the Svatove direction, offensive actions near Stelmakhivka have resumed, and there is information that the occupiers captured Krokhmalne yesterday evening. Most likely, this is the result of yesterday's offensive actions towards Berestove. Photos with the Russian flag have appeared online. According to Vladimir Fityo, the spokesperson for the Ground Forces Command, the military withdrew to more prepared positions because the village has no value. So Krokhmalne had a population of 45 people, roughly 5 houses, and the Russian army destroyed these homes. Therefore, the few hundred meters that the Russians captured have no significance. Due to delays in official statements, maps are not rushing to update the front line. In the Kupiansk direction, the Russians are determined to reach the city, conducting 21 attacks under Siversk and Petropavlivka within a day. Today, the Ukrainian Armed Forces report tactical successes, and shelling continues not only in Kupiansk, but also in all nearby towns. So the overall situation is challenging. Meanwhile, in Russia, the so-called heroes of Russia who fought in Ukraine are so proud of their achievements, and people are so proud of them that they don't miss the opportunity to engage in an intellectual and spiritual dialogue even on public transport.
Иди нахуй! Нахуй, иди отсюда! Слышь, ты говно ебаное! Я, блядь, 3 раза был на СВО, блядь! Да, ты кто вообще? Иди нахуй отсюда, блядь! Я тебе, блин, сейчас... Что ты мне сейчас? Слышь, ты на СВО... Чепушило, блядь! Где ты был? Я, блин, знаешь, где ты был? Ты, блин, Бахмут хоть раз брал. Ты хоть знаешь, кто я? Где ты был? У меня 16 наград за Бахмут только. Иди нахуй отсюда. Слышь, чепушило ебаное.
And that's all from me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.